Hello, good morning, everybody. Welcome. So I didn't get a chance to read some of the comments before I got on. I was dealing with a tech issue, shocker, but I think we got it all worked out. Welcome, everybody. Let's see. I see Trisha here from Wisconsin. She's one of my YouTube members, so welcome. Susan, Melody, Anna, and Rebecca. Oh, Maria's here. She's another one. And Florence, who are also members of my YouTube channel. Welcome. Hey, so all of you that are members, be sure to stick around to the end of the video because I got a great shout out for you guys. There's Lori, also a member. Pardon me. The allergies are kicking in today, my friends. So, well, I'll tell you what, like I said, I didn't get a chance to read my comments before I came on, but I'll tell you what, let's talk about our cards for today. These are kind of what I'm calling them paper piercing cards, but they're almost like a puzzle. Can you see how the layouts are a little bit different? The pieces are all the same, and there are a lot of different ways you can piece this together. So it's going to be a really fun card. So really based on your sentiment, I mean, you could turn it this way. You can turn it wonk ways. I don't care. It's really fun because you just get to kind of play around with these pieces. And it's so easy. This one, can I show you the inside? I mean, wow. Wow. I love it. I love the colors. I love this stamp set. And then this one, I was inspired by the Storybook Life Designer Series paper with those sweet strawberries on it. And so that kind of inspired this card here. I'm excited to share these with you. Christina, Brenda, are you guys excited to do these cards?
Always.
Always.
On wonk ways.
Wonk ways? I'll let you make yours wonk ways.
Oh, gosh. I just had taken a drink of coffee when you said that. I was like, I think it's up my nose now.
Oh, well.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, these are going to be really fun. So can I share something exciting that happened this morning?
Please do.
So I let the dogs out like I always do every morning. And I was like, what is that duck doing? There's a duck. She had her babies. It was the first baby duck sighting of the season. I am so excited.
I love the baby ducks.
And oh, I know. This is such a big deal for me. Oh, the babies. Meep. Oh, they make me so happy.
They're so cute.
I'm not going to get any work done because I'm just going to be staring out that window looking for those babies. I tried to get a picture, but she was teaching them how to swim. So Daddy Duck and Mama Duck were both there. And so she'd swim out a little bit and the little ducks, they'd follow her and then she'd come right back. And then my irritating neighbor who needs to get a fence instead of letting his dog just run out the back door and run amok through the neighborhood. I'm not bitter or anything. Leash law. That's all I'm saying. Leash law. And I'm like, oh boy, she ran and kind of protected her. I mean, the dog wasn't anywhere near her ducks, but still. And I was like, oh, we better not lose any baby ducks to that dog. Write a strong post on the Facebook group.
Yeah. Strongly worded email.
Facebook group. No, I'm telling you, people will come after you. Anyway, so yes, we had our first baby duck sighting today. I'm so excited. And, we feed them right outside. We've got a wrought iron fence. And so we go out there and feed them. And, it is so much fun. So much fun to watch them. So it was an exciting morning in our house.
Yeah,
so
very.
So, Connie, we have a question here from Brenda Bryan. She says, hi, Connie. Question, do you make up yourself the cards and the 3D items that you share with us?
Absolutely. Yep. That's why I can only share twice a week, because when you're making 2 cards for each post, and then, I've got to do the download and do the tutorials and all the different things, diagrams, all that great stuff. Yeah, that's about all I can fit in. But yes, I do make all cards myself. So, Yep. All right. Shall we jump in?
Yes.
Okay. All right. We're going to flip my screen around. And here we go. We're going to start with this one here because it was my favorite. So let me grab my cardstock here. It doesn't take a lot. It's a great way to use up some scraps, by the way. And I'm using an unconventional stamp set today. Be my Valentine. Guys, I got to tell you, this has been one of my favorite stamp sets. Yes, there's a happy Valentine's Day. Don't care. Don't care because I love everything else. I love the love you. You'll always be the one for me. I love you no matter what. We got great stuff here. And of course, the bumblebee, which has that matching punch. But we're going to focus on the flowers and the sentiment. So definitely not a Valentine card, right? Okay, well, let's jump in. We're going to do our stamping first. And I've got a piece of basic white thick cardstock, 8.5 by 5.5 scored at 4 1/4. We're going to stamp over here. By the way, let me let you guys know there is the free download. I just kind of talked about them. So this free download is available for you at simplysimplestamping.com. Now, I know I talked about the membership. This is still free, okay? Subscribing to my channel, still free, okay? But this download is available. You've got your measurements. You got the supply list photos. That's always great. You've got the supply list. A lot of you like the visual. You can follow this link or click on this graphic. And if you don't have this stamp set, oh my goodness, you need to get this on your next order because it is a favorite. So there is how you can order if you're in the United States. And then for my members, I like to do some diagrams. So I've got some layouts for you and the written instructions. If you're a fancy fold fanatic, you get the written instruction. If you're a fun fold friend, you're going to get these diagrams. Okay. All right. With that, we are going to jump in. And the first thing, actually, I'm going to start with talk about a scrap. It is a 1.5 by 8. Very easy. Let me grab, I thought I had some, there we go. I need some grid paper underneath me because I'm going to be stamping off. Let's talk about our ink pad colors. Granny Apple Green, Daffodil Delight, Petunia Pop, and Bubble Bath is what we're going to be working with. I'm going to start with my Granny Apple Green. And we're going to start with the leaves, okay? And we're going to go very random, okay? You don't want, especially with this technique, because you don't know what direction these pieces are actually going to be adhered down. So make sure you go very random. So I'm going to stamp here. Now, when you're about to stamp your next one, remember, we're going to have a flower here. So kind of keep that in mind. You don't want to stamp too close. And so I'll kind of stamp about here. So I have room for a flower. I will stamp. I'm going to take the end. We'll stamp there. Stamp here. So, yep, very, very random. And I know some of you have told me that you struggle with random. You know, the trick is I just kind of keep rotating my cardstock around. That's how I like to do it. And oh, let's see. How about here? There's really not a right or wrong. I don't know why I'm being so picky about it. But we are going to fill this in. And like I said, just kind of leaving myself a space to add a flower. Okay, I think I'll stop there for a sec. And I've got 2 flowers. Okay, so I've got Petunia Pop for one flower and Daffodil Delight for the other. You know what? I'm so worried about having both of those open at the same time because I tend to ink in the wrong stamp set. Whichever one you start with, it doesn't matter, but I'm going to start with a Petunia Pop there, here, so I can kind of see where I'm doing every other leaf, basically. Here, and I think I'll go right there. Okay, now we're going to come in with Daffodil Delight. These colors, I don't know about you, but they make me so very happy. I am overlapping a little bit, not at all worried about that. So you shouldn't either. Okay, did I get them all? Yep, I think I did. Now, if you want to fill in anything, like for instance, there's a little kind of little dead spot that could use something. Let's add one right here because we're going to be cutting this up and we're using everything. So I want everything to kind of be filled in well. Now I am going to be adding one more stamp to this. Like I said, I'm just kind of making sure I got things filled in. Let's bring in that bubble bath. And there's a little heart that's going to be perfect to fill in any of my white spaces. Okay. And again, random with the heart. We don't want all the hearts going the same direction. So see, one's going this way, one's going that way. That's what I want. So this is going to help us fill in. And remember what I said, you can always just rotate and turn your cardstock wonk ways, whatever you need to do. That's looking great. Okay. Now this next part, you can either use your Stampin' Write marker or your Stampin' Blend, whichever one, okay, in black. I'm going to go ahead and use my Stampin' Blend. I like the tip is a little bit thicker. And so I'm going to come and add a center to my Daffodil Delight flowers. Okay. And then I'm going to add it just needed a little more black in there. So I'm just going to go dot, 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 dot. Circle, circle, dot, dot, dot. Hurry, get your cutie shot. How many of you remember that? Okay. So yeah, this just kind of fills in. Don't you love it? It's very Mary Englebright, don't you think? Brenda and I love Mary Englebright. We are huge ME fans, right? And yeah, it just kind of gives just a little bit more to that. Okay. I'm going to, and I wish I had done this before, but we're going to do that again here on the inside of our cardstock because I've got some tips I want to share with you. So Brenda and Christina, Christina's over on Facebook, by the way, if you're watching us on Facebook, and Brenda is here on YouTube. I've got a lot more stamping. So if you guys have any comments, questions that are coming in, this would be a great time to ask because this is going to take me just a little bit.
Hey, Christina, will you go over how they find, if they're members, how they find diagrams and stuff like that?
Absolutely. All you need to do is go to Connie's Simply Simple Stamping channel on YouTube. And along the top, you will see several options like videos live. You can click on either posts or membership, and that will show all of the downloads that we've posted, and you'll be able to access them all right there.
We had a great time on, let's see, was that 2 weeks ago or was that last week? I've slept since then. I don't know.
It was last week.
Last week. Okay. And we made a really fun twist and pop card. It was a blast. I had so much fun just kind of being able to be on live with everybody. It's rare I get to do that like in that way because we got to stamp together, right? We weren't in a hurry, right? For those of you that were there, we took our time. We created together. It was a lot of fun. Okay, guys, so you can see kind of nothing different here.
Hey, Connie.
Yeah.
There's one. Kathy would like to know if you have any way that you open your pads. She finds them difficult to master, and I know you have some tricks. So you want to share that?
I do. I'll tell you what. Let me finish stamping this, Kathy, and I'm going to show you my favorite trick. My husband discovered it, which I thought was so funny, but I don't know. Maybe it's because he's an engineer. Okay, so you can see I kind of treated the inside of my card the exact same way I did the front. So, well, here's how I close the card. So I hold it this way and I press, and then you can kind of grab it right here so that your finger doesn't get in the ink. Okay, my tip to opening the ink pad is 2 thumbs and your fingers right here on the end and press, and it pops it open. Just press, it pops it open, and then you can slide it. I'm telling you, if it's too tight, just kind of keep working it. Okay, just keep working it. Some people have been known to put like a chapstick here on the edges, and then kind of slide it back and forth. But, you know, I mean, here's the thing. Is it a little difficult? It might be, but of course we don't want our ink to dry out. So we want these to really seal up really good. Okay, I'll tell you what, I'm going to do my little circles and my dot, dot, dots one more time. Okay. And yep, that's all I need. So dot, 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 dot. Mary Englebright is going to be so impressed with me because we're sure she's a fan and she's watching. Okay, I think we're good there. All right, so the inside of my card is done. And I'm going to set that off to the side. Let me close up some ink pads here really quick. So Nancy's here from Wisconsin. Hi, Nancy. I'm glad you're here. Hey, real quick, can we just go ahead and finish the stamping? Let's finish the stamping. Sometimes it's easier for me if I get it all done. I've got a basic white 3 3/4 by 5. And I'm going to bring in my Memento Black ink pad. And we are going to stamp I'll love you no matter what. Little tip for you. It's a fine line stamp. So I want you to stamp a little bit lighter to get a, well, I said get a nice clean image and then I didn't. So don't listen to me. Let's try that again. Okay. We're going with that one. Yep, it's a Thursday. It's the end of the week and I couldn't be happier. Okay. We are going to come in with a couple hearts. You guys know how to fix this, right? You just add a little layer, something like this. You add a layer. And that's what I'll go and do. Yep. We all know how to fix the boo-boos, right? Okay. So I've got a piece of Petunia Pop, and that is a 4 by 5 1/4. And we're going to layer our white on this. It gives, again, this great pop. I know my card is white and I could have just stamped there, but look at that. It just gives that burst of color that it really needs. I know sometimes you're like, oh, I really hate to waste cardstock. Well, I don't know if this is necessarily a waste because I think adding that Petunia Pop with everything that's going on over there makes a world of difference. Okay, now I'm going to show you how we're going to chop up our strip, our 1 1/2, 1 1/2, 1 1/4. It was 1 1/2. Okay, first thing we're going to do, and this is all in that free download, by the way, we're going to cut this to 3 inches. We're going to cut another one to 3 1/2 inches, and that's going to leave us this 1 1/2 by 1 1/2. That was easy, right? And I have got some Petunia Pop cardstock that I have cut. So that's a 1. These are all 1 3/4. Okay, 1 3/4. And I have a 3 3/4, a 3 1/4, and a 1 3/4. Did I say that right? 3 3/4, 3 1/4, 1 3/4. And this is a 1 1/4. And I know we don't have anything for that because we got this little guy right here. And I said I was done stamping. I wasn't. You know, here's the thing. When it comes to this part of stamping, there's no right or wrong when you stamp and you know, when you start to adhere things together, at least not on this card. I'm going to stamp that little love you. And let's add a couple little hearts around this as well. Because, you know, it says love you. So we need those little hearts. Okay. For realsies this time, we are done with our stamping. Okay. So let's go ahead. We're going to adhere these things together. So we're going to take our little love you. By the way, did I mention the size of this one? This is a 1 1/2 by 1 inch. We're going to put that one there. It's going to be pretty self-explanatory what pieces go where. So, and once we get these adhered, then we get to have fun. Then we get to start to kind of play and decide what your puzzle is going to look like. Okay. We'll add this one here. Again, that petunia pop, I know you see me use this color a lot, don't you? It's kind of one of my favorites. We've got some new in colors coming, and I got to tell you, I'm getting excited to share those with you as well. Okay, bringing in my card. This is where you can kind of play. So my original is like this, right? But we could change that. We could do this and this. We could do that. Okay. We can do this, and you can kind of see right where the next piece is going to go, right? It's not even a hard puzzle. So you have options. Okay. You've got lots of different ways. And of course we can always turn things the opposite way. Okay. Not with this particular sentiment. It's not going to be right, but I could always make it work, right? So feel free to get creative there. I'm going to take, this is the 3.5 inch. Is that right? 3.25 inch piece. So the second to the largest. And I'm going to bring in some black baker's twine and a mini glue dot. So I'm going to grab myself a mini glue dot. I'm going to roll it into a little ball, kind of decide which end is up. I think I'm going to put it there because I don't have as much color right there. And I'm going to put that little mini glue dot right in the middle. And I'm going to wrap this around and tie it over. And that little mini glue dot is going to change your life. Okay, what did I do? I wrapped it around too many times. There we go. Because tying baker's twine can be really difficult, but if you add a mini glue dot, oops. Okay, look at that. It's stuck down. It even stuck to me. So that says a lot, right? Okay. So now that we have the center of that, it makes it so much easier to tie this in a bow because we're not fighting the center of the bow. Where are you? Let's try that again. It's still thin, so it still has its own challenges. There we go. Now, typically for me anyway, when I tie baker's twine, it's always going to be a great big bunny ears. So we're going to bring those down and then we can straighten them out. Okay. Yeah, just a little bit smaller. It's twisting on me. I will fix that in a minute. Let me grab some scissors. And I like these tails a little bit longer. Okay. So let's go ahead and put our card together. Now, this is another big important tip. So I'm going to put my adhesive on my first piece. And this is the larger one. And I'm just going to gently set it there, okay? I don't want to adhere anything down yet because I may have to slide things around, especially the first few times you make a card like this until you kind of get the hang of where that, kind of like what size borders you need. So I will add this one here. Again, I'm only pressing in the middle because I want to wait. We'll add our next two. So we'll go, and you can see you're just going to line it up. So I'm lining this one up here and here. One more. We'll add it again, lining up at the top. Well, I think I actually got it on the first try. That's shocker. Because usually I have to kind of move that around. Okay, here's my little wonky bow that I'll have to get that straightened out. But, oh my gosh, it's so cute. I love how bright and springy and cheery it is. So card number 1, I hope you guys like that one. Let's do this one here. And so this is the one I said kind of reminded me of the storybook. And I have got storybook garden patch. So there's our little strawberries. There's no sentiments in this. So I had to bring in something with a sentiment, and I chose bright borders. So I decided to make this a thank you card from all of us. So I've got a thank you from all of us, and then we're going to use this little image because I thought it looked really good with my the leaves. Yeah, those. Okay, we're good. We're good. We're good. Okay. So let's go ahead and do our stamping again. Bring in my paper because we will be stamping off, and back in with a Memento ink pad. And we're going to stamp. Remember, random. We're all about the random. So you can either rotate your stamp or rotate your cardstock, whichever works best. But we're just going to kind of fill in with the strawberries. And then we're going to be coloring these with Stampin' Blends. And I'm starting to kind of run out of time. So I'm just going to kind of do a couple for you. Okay. Let's make sure we get these ends. Okay. So we've got that. On the inside of our card, this is a real red card base, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Now, I do want to show you, you got 2 options here. On this one, I think I stamped in real red on the inside, but it was pretty subtle. So I'm going to leave it up to you. But this one I did in the Memento black. I don't know. You guys tell me what tips. What tips? Sorry, I was reading NJ Carmaker. Any tips on fixing the twisted bows? You know, you just kind of have to play with them. You might need to loosen up the knot in the middle. And just kind of straighten them out. I tend to only get the twisted bows with baker's twine, though. Now, my strawberries here on the inside. So here on the inside, I don't have to be as random. Like, remember when we did the heart? Like, on the inside, the heart didn't have to be upside down. And my strawberries don't either. Here's another tip. If you need to get something on the side, fold your card down and stamp. Okay, so if you need anything there, that way we keep that edge clean. Okay, I'll tell you what, we are here. Let's go ahead and stamp. I've got a shaded spruce ink pad. By the way, this part was kind of optional. So whatever makes you happy. But I don't know. I kind of liked this little image here. And then we're going to say on the inside, this is a thank you from all of us. And if you'd like, and I do, you can stamp a little strawberry right there. And then we have a little, once again, that little piece. What was that, Brenda? That was a 1 by 1.5. And we will stamp. Thank you. All right, friends, stamping done, sort of, because now we're going to make it look like that storybook paper. So I'm going to move that out of the way here. So I'm going to bring in a dark shaded spruce and a dark cherry cobbler. Okay. Or real red. Real red. Let's get it. And these are really simple to color. Now, if you want to do some fancy smancy shading, feel free. But this had so much random going on that I was just okay leaving it. So I'm only going to do a few of these for you, okay? And kind of show you how this one goes together. Okay, so there is my real red. Now I'll come in with shaded spruce. And yeah, like I said, if you wanted to bring in the light and the dark and really go crazy on these leaves, you can do that. We'll get the tops of our strawberries. You guys know I love the fruit stamps. They are my favorites. Let's get the tops here. And just a little bit more right here. And then I'll show you how we're going to do this background shading. Okay, so I'm going to be using a balmy blue ink pad and a small blending brush to do the shading here. Okay, now I got to tell you, I was a little sloppy with that, but I can always come in and kind of work it a little bit better. But let's bring in a balmy blue ink pad, and I've got a blending brush with some blue on it. So I'm going to ink it up. That's a little harsh, so I always like to take a little bit off. And then you're just going to kind of go in between. Yes, I'm going over the strawberries. I realize that.
Connie?
Yeah.
Can you zoom in just a little bit on that?
Sure. There we go.
Thank you.
In fact, I'm going to try something. Can we just, since we're live, we're just going to try something. What would happen if we blended brushed first? Let's see. Let's see what happens. So if we use our blending brush first, so I'm going to do that over here. Let's just see what we get. It might come out a little bit brighter. I don't know. Rather than letting that blending brush go over the strawberries that are already done, let's see which looks better. I didn't even think about it until just now. I mean, I guess, you know, when I made the card, I just made the card and didn't think that, oh, I wonder if this would look better. You know, I don't know. I can't tell a difference. I can't really tell a difference. So that's good. Anything goes. So we'll just kind of add our shaded spruce. But see how we get that really nice shade, or we get that really nice balmy blue in the background. And I hope you guys know what paper I'm talking about. It's my favorite paper out of the Storybook. Oh, I believe is it Storybook Life? I think that's what it is. So there you go. That is what it's going to look like. And friends, you're going to cut this up in the exact same way that we did before. So I'm just going to go ahead and bring in my original. Again, it's that 3 3/4 inch piece. I tied my baker's twine around it with the bow. Again, you get to decide how you want it to be laid out. And then that is the inside of your card. All right. These are so much fun. I hope you are truly inspired by looking at those. Oh, I did the little dots. I forgot. I did the little dots on this one as well. Sorry. Yeah, that I think looks really, really fun. So friends, do you like it? Oh, I hope you do. These are there. I mean, it's using a scrap. It's a 1.5 by 8. Or if you just have these little scraps, fine. You could go ahead and have these cut and stamp them. Okay. I just like kind of using the one big piece, but guys, it really is a great way to use up some scraps. Let me show you what we're going to create next week. So next week, we're going to create some tag topper punch cards. Okay. This is a design I have always loved. And let me show you. So you pull the ribbon. These are tied together. And there's where you're going to write your message. It's so sweet. Yep. We're going to be using that brand new hole punch assortment as well. And we're going to color some ribbon because we don't have berry burst ribbon, but we do now because I'm going to show you how to make your own. Then this one here, trust in the Lord with all your heart. We've got these fabulous little butterflies, and that is the inside of our other card. So that's what we're going to be making next week. So I hope that you guys can join me for that. It's going to be great. That's going to be April 24th. So All right. Well, we are going to go ahead and wrap things up. Thank you, guys. Let me read some comments here. Oh, Kathy says, ooh, those are nice too. I'm so glad you like them. Melody, really cute cards. Thanks for sharing, Connie. Happy Easter, everyone. Absolutely. Happy Easter to all of you. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Loved how you use the stamps to make your own DSP. Shirley said that. You know what, Shirley? It's one of my favorite techniques. I have a lot of stamps. And although I love designer series paper, I do. But I love kind of creating my own because then I get to choose my own colors. But just like I said with that strawberry card, I was inspired by a designer series paper, but I ran out of it. So I just made my own. Yeah, that's what we do. Judith says, thanks for the idea. Love it very much. Trisha says, thank you so much, Brenda. I appreciate you. Thank you, Brenda. I do. You and Christina both. You're such a blessing to me on this because I just cannot stamp and read comments at the same time. Trisha says, Connie, you're so inspiring. Your cards look professional. Thank you for sharing your magic with us. Trisha, you're so sweet. Thank you. Debbie says, don't mask. I think you're talking about the designer series paper. You could. I think it might be more work maybe than you want to do. Like I said, especially with that first card, let me kind of switch back here. On this card, I was just trying to be very conscious of leaving a space. I wasn't always perfect, but if you want to mask, goodness gracious, absolutely. I want you to create your own way. That's why it's called creativity. We all have our own way of creating, right? Okay, guys. Well, I'm gonna, NJ Cardmaker says, first class as always. Thank you so much. You're so sweet. Well, for my members, I want you to stick around at the end of the video because I've got a little shout out I want to send. Bear with me. It's my first time doing it this way. So if the screen goes black for too long, don't freak out. And real quick, if you guys would do me a huge favor, there's a thumbs up button on YouTube. Will you click that and let me and YouTube know that you like the video today? That is so helpful. I love knowing what you guys like with those thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, remember, subscribing is free, okay? Subscribing is free. You can click that subscribe button. And if you want to learn more about the membership, there is a join button right next to that. And you can click that. That doesn't mean you're joining yet. It's just going to give you information. Okay. So click that join button and you can read all about the perks that I have. We are having a blast on the membership. So love it. All right, friends. With that, I am going to attempt, get ready. We are going to say goodbye. And here is my shout out to my members. No, not that screen. Did we do it? Yay, it worked. Guys, thank you so much for being a subscriber. I love you guys. I appreciate you being here today. And I hope that you're enjoying the perks that we offer there on the membership. It's been a lot of fun. So be sure to check it out. And friends, I can't wait to stamp with you again next week. I've got a really amazing Tuesday tip video for you. And then, of course, those tag topper punch cards on the 24th. So have a happy Easter, everybody. See ya. Bye-bye.